The following Car Geek Hour is a paid advertisement program provided by Cassill Motors, and airing of the program is not to be considered endorsement or recommendation. The opinions expressed are those of the host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of WMT or Clear Channel Media and Entertainment.
All right, got the Beach Boys cranked up.
There we go.
Turned up, ready to go. I've got the songs over here.
Awesome.
You know, your bumper music is now all Beach Boys.
We're all set up, huh?
We are all set up.
Good. Well, good morning.
So, yeah, good morning. Michael Years here. I'm with Jay Cassill. He's our Cassill Motor. He's our resident car geek. Glad to have him here every week. How you doing this morning, Jay?
I'm absolutely awesome.
All right.
So
he's Cassill Motors. Jay, he's car geek. You got a question about your car, you know? This man, what I love about you, Jay, is it can be anything, and it always seems like you've got an answer for us.
We try to figure it out.
You know,
I've done so much. As my dad always said, we've done so much with so little for so long. We can do anything with nothing forever.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
You like that?
That should be on like a stone or a plaque or something.
So
we like that.
Yep. We've always had the deal where can't was never a word that's accepted at Cassill Motors.
Mm-hmm.
We are a can-do dealership, and that's I got to remind my people every once in a while. They get into a tight situation. They say, I can't do this. And it's like, no, we don't use that word. No C words at Cassill Motors.
That is not in the vocabulary here.
We can, and we will. We'll figure it out. So looks
right.
like we got some callers already.
We do. I'll give out the numbers real quick here. 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. If you've got a question for Jay, give us a call here this morning. We've got Chrissy out there screening calls. As always, we appreciate that. So let's go ahead. Yeah, we got a caller. We've got Larry in Shellsburg this morning. So let's get things started with Larry. Good morning. How you doing, Larry?
Hi, Mike. Hi, Jay.
Hey, good morning.
How are you?
I'm absolutely awesome.
Well, you always are.
That's right.
Mike, Jay and I have been talking for a whole long time about him opening up a brand new restoration shop in Cedar Rapids.
Oh, yeah. Larry is bound and determined to get me to open this restoration shop.
The town is big enough to support a good one, and one that can do it all from either the total restoration or down to selling the parts for those who are capable of doing it.
Okay.
And what I'd like to have the other listeners do is call in and give their opinions, because obviously mine is biased, and Jay knows that.
That sounds good. They call in to do that, or the other thing they can do is we're getting ready to talk about my new website is up, mycargeek.net.
Okay.
And you can ask questions. You can make comments there. Feel free, anybody, to make a comment on this restoration shop.
Well, just a couple more details of it. It should be big enough maybe to hold 3 or 4 cars at one time.
Yeah.
And then have a nice controlled paint booth and upholstery and engine shop and all that good stuff, and even a parts department, and then a nice reception room where Jay could sit down with the customers and go over their needs and wants and arrive at a price. And the town would really support a good one.
Okay, well, let's see how many other people like that idea, and we'll have to figure out how we're going to come up with some money for it then.
Oh, that's easy.
Okay.
Just ask Jim.
There you go.
All right, see you later.
Sounds good. Thanks for your call, Larry.
Thanks, Larry.
We love Larry. So Larry's a great guy. So.
Yeah, and he kind of touched on that, and you did briefly, but I want to make sure we do get to that at some point today about the new website and everything like that. But we do have a phone call here. We've got David in Mechanicsville. He's on our Hero line. Good morning, David. How you doing?
I'm very well.
Great. What can we do for you this morning?
I have a 2011 Chrysler Town & Country.
Okay.
That if it sets for 24 hours, the battery goes dead. I've had it 5 different places and gone from having a complete wiring harness, it didn't put it in, but wanting to put a complete wiring harness in, to a new battery, and I've done all that. Do you have somebody to take a look at it for me? And as you can realize, I've probably spent a lot of money on it already.
Yeah.
I really don't want to...
how many miles does it have on it?
70.
Okay. Yeah, we can definitely take care of that. We found on that one, on those there, we've actually the fuse box under the hood is where we've had a lot of problems with those. But we want to diagnose it and check it out. But yeah, I got a guy that Jay, my head technician, is just a master on electrical problems. So
Okay. Well,
Yep.
that's we'll probably try and call in Monday and get an appointment and get the vehicle over to you. And
sounds good. You
like
can
I said, I've had it to 3 Chrysler dealers and 2 independents, and I haven't gotten any satisfaction yet. And also the blind spot light.
Yeah.
Stays on all the time, except when you shut the car off. So maybe that has something to do with it too. But that
definitely
problem has arisen in the last 2 months. It was we've had trouble with it for probably 4 or 5 months with it.
Has anybody bumped the rear bumper at all on that?
Has anybody bumped it?
Yeah.
Geez, not to my knowledge, but maybe.
Okay, because that's what we just had one that was like that too. That the one rear sensor actually got broken. It's on the back side of the bumper there. So, but yeah.
Yeah.
Give them a call.
Okay, well, we'll give a call Monday morning and see if we can get her in and figure out what the problem is.
Yeah, you can call today and set up an appointment too. My service department's open till 5.
Okay.
But you could call and get an appointment for next week.
Okay, sir.
Sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, David.
Cool. I love electrical stuff. Electrical is fun, and that's what the other Jay. He's just a master with that. He figures out anything.
Tracking it back to the source of what's going on.
Yep. So he doesn't. We don't like to replace parts. We like to fix the problem. So that's the one great part about all of our technicians at our dealership is they're not parts changers. A lot of places they're like, well, we think this is it, so we're going to throw this on. Whoops, nope, wasn't this. I think it's this. My guys will spend the extra time, and they want to diagnose. That's the big thing. You want to diagnose the problem. Don't just throw parts at them. So,
And you talked about calling them. So what's the phone number that everybody can reach you at?
396-2698, and the beautiful Shelley will put you through to whoever you want.
That's Cassill Motors. They're at the corner of 16th Avenue and Williams here in Cedar Rapids.
Right next to Tyson's.
That's right. The new renovated Tyson's.
The new renovated Tyson's.
Yes.
Have you been in there?
Not since it's been renovated.
Oh,
no.
my gosh, it's beautiful.
Is it? I'll have to get over there sometime.
It's cool. It's really good. They did a great job.
All right. Well, we got a phone call here. Let's go ahead and get to a 600 line. We have Don in Bettendorf this morning. Good morning, Don.
How you doing?
We're
I enjoyed
awesome.
it so very much.
No problem.
I wish we had something that's locally in the Quad City area that was on the radio, on WOC or something, but we don't. So I'll listen to you.
There you go. Sounds
perfect.
good to me.
Hey, quick question. What do you think about the idea of car dealerships being open on Sunday?
Absolutely.
Illinois talked about it. Probably because of Chicago, I'm guessing, and revenue.
Yeah.
What do you-
Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No way.
Yeah, that's
even if my brother and I have both said, because we had some salesmen that asked that question.
Sure.
And
they work enough hours.
even if Iowa went to being open on Sunday, you will never see Cassill Motors selling cars on Sunday.
Okay, that's
It
good to
will-
know.
Will not happen.
I love the fairway attitude.
There
take
you
it,
go.
Take it easy, and we shop at Fairway, and it's right across the street in Bender from Hy-Vee. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But we'll go there because we want to support that business and the decision they made.
That's right.
I know it costs them money. Probably Hy-Vee's busiest day is Sunday, because you're losing half your stores. The 2-store corner down to 1, But another question is real quick. What do you think about the resale value of a Cobalt now? I mean, is there going to be a million lawsuits like I figure for the next 25 years, or what do you think is going to happen there?
No, they're a great car.
Okay.
And all these manufacturers all got recalls on their cars.
Okay.
Right now, I think they're kind of picking on GM just a little bit.
They'll go broke again. They just came out of the ashes not too long ago, and pay something like that to the government, which is hilarious. I think the consumer deserves the money, not the government necessarily, but that's me.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like, okay, the government doesn't deserve that money. That's not. They didn't do anything. People, and there'll be lots of lawsuits. Don't get me wrong. There'll be tons of them.
Oh yeah.
And, I just thought maybe if I had a Cobalt, I wouldn't feel too good about the resale value right now of it.
They'll
Almost
be okay
feel
still.
salvage title attitude, which I never agreed either. Is it still $5,000 in the state of Iowa for salvage title?
No, it's over half of the fair market value.
Okay, wasn't it at one time it was only $5,000, which was really, really low?
It was. Well, that was on the damage disclosure. There used to be a $3,000, then they moved it up to $5,000.
Yeah,
So.
one door now is $5,000. I mean, you have a $40,000 Cadillac, and you got a door. Then you want a salvage title, dogging the rest of your life.
There you go.
And I never got too excited about it. I bought a couple cars that way because sometimes you get a better deal on them. It's like funny when they're selling the car, salvage title is no big deal. When you're trading it in, it's more of a bigger deal. So.
That's right. Sounds
All
good.
right, thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Thanks, Don.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Bye.
All right.
Well, we got Paul in a tumble here now too.
Yeah, we do. Let's go to the 800 line. Good morning, Paul.
Yeah.
Good morning.
I've got a 99 Buick, and I've got an oil leak that I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
It's got that 3800 engine,
Yeah.
And the oil is kind of running down the side of the block, the side that's toward the radiator,
Okay, the front side there,
or
yeah.
the front of the car. I first I thought maybe it was the spout where you pour, where you add oil. Maybe
Right.
it was leaking around that, but I took it out. The rubber looks good around that O-ring,
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, well, maybe it's the rocker arm cover gasket, but I don't know why it would just all of a sudden start leaking after 120,000 miles, But it's just been gradually leaking over about a year, and I put a cord in every month or so, depending on how much we drive it.
Okay.
It just kind of runs down the whole side of the block. It's all wet, and it drips off down on that plastic splash guard
Yep.
underneath the motor there, and then
Right.
it eventually finds a place to drip off on the driveway.
Yep.
I
would
and I'm thinking, is there something else on the side of the block that maybe could be leaking oil?
No, this shouldn't. I would, need to look at it, but I'd say you probably got a valve cover gasket that's leaking. The gasket after 120,000 miles has gotten a little hard and brittle, and they shrink up just a little bit. So I would be looking at that real close and seeing what you got there. But if it's leaking below that valve cover gasket and it looks like it's coming there, that's where I would start and clean it up. Clean it up real good, and go from there. So
Yeah. Well, that was my next step, but I thought, well, maybe there's a oil sending unit on the side of the block or something like that. It might be leaking, or maybe it wouldn't be the valve cover gasket. I didn't know.
You need to look at it real close, and you should be able to see. That it's coming out of that valve cover gasket. Yep. Okay.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for the call.
I was just in a tumble last Sunday.
Were you?
Yeah. No, not Sunday. On Tuesday. So my grandma Cassill, I think she might even be listening today. She's down there, and she broke her leg. She fell down. She just had her 90th birthday.
Oh, excellent.
And so we went down to see her, and she broke her leg, and unfortunately her other leg had some problems and had to amputate her left leg.
Oh, that's too bad.
So, but she's a typical Cassill. She's just pulling and working so hard. Got down there, she just looked so beautiful. And it was amazing. It was really, really cool to see Grandma and see how good she looked for everything she's been through right now. It was awesome. So
doesn't believe in that word can't.
She does not believe in the word can't. That's probably where my dad got it from and has beat that into us, because she's getting all ready to get a prosthetic leg, and she's going to be walking again at 90 years old. So
that's great.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's fantastic.
She's got so much drive, and she was smiling, and like I said, she just looked so beautiful. It was awesome.
All right.
So
365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. Give us a call here if you got a question for Jay Cassill. So we'll get to your phone calls, that and more next here on 600 WMT.
Oh, yeah, a little new scoop.
Yep.
Got to have that. So I know how frustrated you get when you hear those other car dealers' advertisement, Mike.
Mm-hmm.
But, I take it as a compliment that they have that much confidence in me that they want to advertise and promote my show.
We appreciate all the advertisers.
I appreciate it. I got to have advertisers keep the show on the radio.
That's right.
There you go. So thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Great. We got another caller.
We
on the
do.
phone.
We've got David in Mount Vernon. He's on our 600 line this morning. Good morning, David.
Good morning. Good morning. I have a question.
Yeah.
I have a question about Honda Odyssey 2000 and a Honda Accord 2001 with the V6 engine.
Yeah.
Are there any inherent issues with the automatic transmissions in those years?
I haven't seen any. Is it doing something weird for you?
Well, I mean, a friend of mine told me that they inherently had automatic transmission issues, and I've got about 200,000 on my Odyssey,
Right.
but I've got about 130 on my Honda Accord,
Right.
and it's doing a little bit of jerking when it's shifting, and I went and took it in to have it serviced
Yeah.
because I bought it used,
Right.
hadn't had it serviced, had it about 50,000 miles,
Right.
and they says, "Oh, your transmission oil is really, really bad," and
Right.
they talked about something about it wasn't just a straight clean it out, flush it out. They've got a screen that can get plugged. And,
Right. Yep. Yeah. You
And I
never want to. I never want to see a flush. Just flush a transmission. Flushing. You want to change the filter also. Now we do a flushing system with our place, but we always replace the filter with it. It costs a little bit more, but it's kind of like, why would you change your oil without changing the oil filter? And probably what you got. When was the last time it was serviced?
Well, it's been almost 2 years ago now on the Honda Accord.
Okay. Transmission service is the one thing that everybody forgets about. Transmission service needs to be done every 30,000 miles on just your normal everyday driving car. I want that fluid out of there every 30,000 miles. So, and that way you're not getting the filter's not getting plugged up, the screen's not getting plugged up, and we're able to catch any issues. Sometimes you'll find a chunk or something in the transmission, and you can replace just one piece and not have to rebuild the whole transmission. And that's the other reason why we want to take that pan off, so we can inspect it and see what you got. So, but if you got 130,000 on one and 200,000 on the other, I haven't seen a lot of problems with them, and you've gotten a good out of it. So, but keep it serviced. Keep that transmission serviced.
Okay, one other just generic question.
Yeah.
On both of these, you can run 100,000 miles between timing belt changes and whatever.
Yep.
When you get into that kind of service, does it matter whether you go to a Honda dealership or to a place like your own as far as what you really get and the care?
You get the
and
same
the knowledge?
You get the same care. You might even get a little better care at the independent shop, I think. But yeah, that's not a problem. Anybody can do it. So as long as they're comfortable with it, no problem.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for the call this morning, Dave. That was Dave in Mount Vernon. Let's got another call here. We're going to go now to Ron in Alburnett this morning. Good morning, Ron.
Hello. I have a Ford F-150.
Okay.
I think it's 2000. Anyway, I'm going straight down the road. It sounds fine. When I kind of make a right turn or a left turn, I get a popping noise in the rear end.
Oh, yeah. What it's got is the posi clutches are sticking just a little bit. You need to service the rear differential. And
okay, I did that last night, and I put some kind of little goop in there.
As I say, you put I don't know if I can say this on the air or not, but you put the whale sperm in it, the friction modifier.
Yep.
So,
and I guess I haven't really ran it since.
Did you buy the Ford friction modifier, or did you buy some aftermarket stuff?
I bought the aftermarket stuff.
Okay. I've had the best luck with the actual Ford Posi lubricant. Actually, I run that in my GMs and Chryslers because it's better than the GM and Chrysler stuff.
Nice. Now, can I add that to what I've got, or
yes.
should I redrain it and do it again?
Nope, you can add that to it. But then what you need to do is go find yourself a parking lot and put that in there, and then go find yourself a parking lot and just do a bunch of figure eights.
Nice.
And what it's doing is it's going to work that into the posi clutches, and after just a little bit, it's going to it'll come back around. It'll stop doing that.
Perfect. Hey, thanks, guys.
No problem. Thank you.
Yep, bye.
Thanks, Ron.
That's a real common deal on the Fords. Well, we see it on everything. I had a Pontiac Solstice that was doing that not too long ago too. The posi clutches get get sticky because the fluid gets a little bit of fiber in it, and they stick together, and so it all goes back to the service. You got to service the stuff. You know, change that transmission fluid every 30,000 miles. You know, the differentials anywhere from 30 to 50,000. Drain the fluid out of them. Take the cover off. Clean it up, and service. You know, maintenance.
And you get to have fun while doing it. You get to go make figure eights.
You get to go make figure eight. Well, when at that point you got to go do once they get sticky. If you serviced it regularly, you wouldn't have that problem. So, but
if you have to do it,
everybody does the deal of, oh, it's making noise. Oh, maybe I better service it now. Doggone it, let's do it beforehand.
Yeah, how about before any noises start?
Yeah, before.
That would be
routine maintenance.
That's right.
So, yeah.
So 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. Those are the numbers to get a hold of us. Give Jay, he's Cassill Motors Car Geek here. Give him a call. You got a question about your vehicle. He's here wanting to help you out.
Willing and able.
Yes.
That's what you meant to say.
Yes, willing and able to help you out. He wants to help you out.
I want to.
He wants to hear all about car questions that you have. So give him a call here. Now, we touched on it a little bit earlier, but kind of want to get into a little bit more detail now. You've got a new website up.
We got our new website. It's finally up. My little sister got it all done, and it's cool. It's mycargeek.net. So mycargeek.net. There's some different stuff. There's a couple different ones of my garage. There's some pictures of some of my toys, my fun stuff. We got a garage for projects now, where I'm going to start posting projects that I'm building for customers or for myself or whatever. And then you can ask questions. You know, some people don't like to call in on the radio. You can do an email there. Email me your questions, and I'll answer them during the week, whatever you want. And then we're going to have a deal to where you can send pictures of your car. I want to see what you're driving. I want to see your fun stuff. So,
yep. I've got the website up here and looking through it, and you've got a lot of your toys up here that you got. You got your motorcycles. You know,
there's even a picture of my dog.
Yeah,
Max is in there, so he's always with me in the shop. So
all sorts of good stuff. Yeah, and I think if you want to, like he said, if you don't want to call in, go ahead and email request it, and he'll get back to you on it.
I'll get to him during the week, or I can do it during the week, whatever you got, and I'll answer your questions. I love to. So looks like we got a couple callers here. Let's go to the phones again.
Yeah, we're gonna go to the 600 line. We're gonna start with Mark in Mechanicsville this morning. Good morning, Mark.
Yeah, Jay, I got a question for you.
Okay.
I got some older vehicles.
Yeah.
That are Fords, and you guys like Ford vehicles.
I like them all.
Is there any aftermarket places you can get like your odometers and for like your 90s and 80s models pickups when they start going into the electronics?
We can get them fixed. It's broken? What's it doing?
Well, because like your shift modules and that stuff are up behind the odometers and that stuff, and Ford don't build them anymore. Is there an aftermarket where a guy can go through you guys to get the stuff?
I'd have to look and see what we got, but I haven't had any problems getting parts for them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we should be able to come up with something.
Got another question.
Okay.
Okay, if you go and buy an aftermarket carburetor, it's the throttle body injection, and you want to put it on an older, like a 70s model motor,
right?
Do you have to change any other ignition stuff, or can we just bolt that on and use that little computer box they give you?
You're gonna have to change. Put in some. You're gonna need a temperature sensor. There's gonna be a few little things that you got to put onto it, but it's you can add fuel injection to an older car. They make some. Trying to just put going to a salvage yard and getting a unit off of a newer car isn't usually the best deal. It can be done, but a lot of the aftermarket MSD and Holley and all them are making a fuel injection throttle body style setup that you can put right onto to your old classic car.
Is it something that a person should go to your shop with or something so it's done right, or is it something we could do at home?
You can do it at home. The hardest part on that deal there is you have to run an extra line back to the tank, because with the fuel injection it puts a return line to put fuel back into the tank. So you're going to have somebody that can weld a port onto the gas tank. You're going to take the gas tank out and you have to put an extra. You got to put a return line to the tank. So that's the worst thing you got on it. Other than that,
that's something you can't really do yourself. Put an extra port in.
Well, you can take the gas tank out and bring it into someone, and they can do it. So that's not a big issue.
Yeah.
So, what do you have for old cars?
Oh, I got a variety of vehicles from the 70s.
Really? Cool. Get on my website.
Got some out of the 80s.
Get on my website and send me some pictures of them. So.
Well, someone got to get through the body shop yet, then they'll look right.
There you go.
But, no, I was just curious because I thought it would be nicer if we could put the updated fuel injection on. Let's just that throttle body because it works so much better at the start.
Yeah. Yep, I got a buddy of mine that just he did it on. He's got a 65 El Camino, and he just put fuel injection all on it. So,
did his mileage improve?
I don't know. He drives too hard. The reliability.
Now I got another question.
The reliability is great. So
now you've got some older vehicles yourself that you run. I know of.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Now, do you have to add, even though we're running regular gas, the non-alcohol gas,
right?
Because the motors just ain't built to take the alcohol.
Right.
Are we going to have to start adding on some of the early 70s ones? Are we going to have to add lead back in? Or
if you've had the motor apart and you put the hardened seats in the valves, then no, you don't have to. But if you got one that hasn't had the hardened seats, and you need to add.
Yeah, we've got a couple we haven't ever had because they don't use oil, so we don't run them much. But I said, we got to start doing something here. We're going to screw up the motor.
Yeah. So if you're not running them that much, it probably won't hurt too. I mean, it won't do the damage right away. So, but, yep.
All right.
Yeah, we'll get some pictures around, get them to your website.
Sounds cool.
I'm going to come in and talk to you about a paint job anyway. So.
Okay. Sounds awesome.
After I heard your show the other day, I think you guys would be worth checking out.
Sounds awesome. Right. We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Mark.
Yep, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. Yeah. Potential person to send in some photos to the website.
There you go. We want to see all those photos. I love cars. I am a car geek. I love them.
That's right. We're talking with Jay Cassill here. It's my Car Geek Hour. It's Car Geek Hour. Let's go to our here line now. We have Jerry. He's on the road this morning. Good morning, Jerry.
Good morning.
Good morning. Drive safe for me, please.
Yes, I am.
Okay. What can we do for you?
I have a 2009 Ford Flex, and I have 95,000 miles. I service it regularly.
Okay.
I haven't done the transmission yet.
Okay.
That should be done. I know. I'm going to get a service at Flynn. Is it Flynn?
Yep.
At Mount Vernon.
Yep.
That's where I bought it. Is there anything special other than that you can think of that I should be having a service kit with that many miles on it?
Well, I would be looking, you got your transmission, probably about time to do power steerings to flush the system.
Sure.
But other than that, no, there's not. I mean, antifreeze, when's the last time you've drained the antifreeze?
No.
Okay. I would definitely be doing something there.
Okay.
So, yeah, definitely the antifreeze, that transmission, and power steering's not that important to do, but it is something that you might consider doing.
Sure.
So,
sure.
Yep.
Okay. I will do that. Thank you very, very much.
Sounds good. Thank you.
Enjoy your program.
Okay.
Right.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks, Jerry. All right, that frees up our hero line, 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, or *600 on your U.S. cellular phone. Those are the numbers to get a hold of us. Get a hold of Jay here. He wants to hear your questions and help you out. So we'll get to your phone calls and more here next on 600 WMT.
I love the colorful clothes you wear and the way the sunlight plays upon her hair.
Little good vibrations this morning.
There you go. That's right.
Putting out the good vibes.
Yeah.
That's right.
Cool.
So
it's all kinds of fun. You've been sitting there looking at the website. And
I have been.
Talking about all the different stuff. I mean,
you've been filling me in on the history of some of these photos, and
isn't that cool?
It is.
Got a picture of my. The picture of the tow truck. That was my senior picture. I mean, how many seniors in high school get?
You're the first.
Take a picture with their tow truck.
Yeah, you're the first.
How many seniors have a tow truck in school?
You've got the car. You always get the senior photos of the car, but this is a first seeing one with a tow truck.
With a tow truck. Oh, that tow truck was my life. I love it. So I wish I had it back.
Tell me about the stories and going down to 600 acres.
Oh, yeah. We four-wheel drive wrecker. We used to pull people out of 600 acres. And, it was lots of fun. So you met a lot of interesting people. So
I'll bet.
It was fun. You tow them in and fix their car, and it was awesome. So, but that's what I like to do.
Yeah.
So the lines are all open here.
They are. Give us a call here, 365-0600, 1-800-332-5401, or star 600 on your U.S. cellular phone. Those are the numbers to get a hold of us here. The website again is mycargeek.net. It's a new website, just got up this week, right?
Yep. And you can get to it also from CastleMotors.com. Promote CastleMotors.com too, because they're the ones that put me out here.
That's right.
That's us. So
through their website, there's a link there right on the front page. Says My Car Geek. You click on that, gives you information about the show here, the My Car Geek Hour with Jay Cassill, and then on that says Learn More at mycargeek.net. Just click on that, and that'll link you right to that website.
So speaking of Cassill Motors, you know what day it is today, right?
Saturday.
Yeah, you're right. It is. I was sitting there talking to Greg, and he said the hot deal of the day is he's got a 2008. What did he say it was? I forgot now. His boat. Oh man, it's 2008. It's a ski boat. Walk through windshield. Caravel. I think that's what it was. 2008. So come on out and take a look at that. So looks like we got some calls here.
We do have some calls. We're gonna get to those now. We're gonna go to the 600 line. We got Brian and Cascade this morning. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning. How are you guys today?
We are absolutely awesome.
Okay, my question is this. I subscribe to various automotive magazines.
Okay.
And whenever I read the articles about them, they always say how they always change their oil every 10,000 miles.
Ouch.
So in years' time, they do it like every 4 times, and that's it.
Yeah.
So I was wondering, what are they doing differently that they change their oil every 10,000 and we're supposed to change ours every 3?
Well, it depends on the type of driving that you're doing. And that'll determine how often you should change your oil. If you're in town, and just going a few blocks to work and everything, I want to see the 3,000. If you're getting out and running down the highway, getting it up to operating temperature good and running it for a little while, 5,000, I don't have a problem with that. Some of these guys are running some synthetic and running 10,000. I'm not a real big person on 10,000 miles. The reason for that is the oil filter is what it is, and they're making them smaller today, and the filter is the biggest part of that deal, filtering out any contaminants in there. So I'm not a big person on the 10,000. So, but they're running a synthetic and they're saying it's good, and I'm just not onto that. So 3,000 if you're in town, 5,000 on the highway.
Okay, so you're not recommending doing the 10,000 change oil on it?
No, I would not do the 10,000. Not on a normal car. If you got a diesel pickup that's got 15 quarts of oil and it's got a 2-quart oil filter, that's a little different story. But you could go 7,000 to 10,000.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Brian. All right, now let's move on to our hero line. We have Tim and Atkins this morning. Good morning, Tim.
Hi, gentlemen. How are you?
We are absolutely awesome. How's everything in Atkins today?
Doing all right. It's nice and sunny.
Yeah, great.
I have a 07 and an 08. Both are Elantras.
Okay.
I'm trying to figure out which vehicle to bring in. On my 08, I have on the dash, I have TPMS lit.
Tire pressure monitoring system. Yep.
Right. And my tire pressure has always been fine.
Okay.
I know that there's also another light that comes on when they're low. It's a tire symbol.
Yep.
Now, with my wife's 07, her dash has never had the TPMS on.
Okay.
So I'm trying to figure out which vehicle might be malfunctioning.
Well, her 07 might not have tire pressure monitoring.
Okay.
So that was government mandatory at 08 is when they started it.
They did? Okay.
Yeah, some vehicles had it before, but not a lot. So, and if it has it, when you just turn on the key, the first notch where all the lights come on, it should light up. If it doesn't light up, it doesn't have it.
Now, are you saying that the TPMS that's lit up on my dash is just to let me know that that's what it has? It's not an alert?
Nope, that's telling you that it's got a problem.
Okay, very good.
Yep, if it's staying on when you're going down the road, it's telling you it's got a problem. It may be a simple, that it needs to go through a relearn to relearn the system. Or it could be, when they go to do the relearn, you might find that one of the sensors on one of the wheels has gone bad.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, very good. All right, thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tim. All right, let's go now to Dennis in Cedar Rapids this morning. Good morning, Dennis.
Hey, good morning. I've got a 2006 HHR,
Perfect.
And I keep getting the traction control light keeps coming on periodically.
Cool. Does it seem to come on more when it's damp outside? Do you notice?
No.
No?
Kind of just it comes on, then stays on for maybe 1 or 2 trips, then it goes off, and then off for 2 or 3 trips, and comes back on again.
Okay. We got one of our speed sensors is acting up. Most likely, it's probably one of the front ones. And how many miles does it have on it?
I think it's about 60,000.
Okay. You're not hearing any little grinding in the front end, are you? Like a kind of a when you're going down the road?
No.
Okay. Yeah, we need to plug it in. You need to plug it in with someone, and it's going to tell you which sensor has been malfunctioning. And you probably just got a sensor that went bad.
Okay. What kind of sensor is it?
Oh, shoot, my mind just went blank. It's for the ABS sensor. It'll be the analog brakes and the traction. That's all in the traction control and ABS all work together. So.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So you got one of the speed sensors there is getting a brake in it. A lot of times we see it. People will talk about they go through the car wash, and it'll after they go through a drive-through car wash or something, it comes on. Or if they drive in the rain, then the light comes on. So, but you got a sensor that's malfunctioning.
Okay. Well, thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
All right.
Bye now.
Bye.
Bye. Thanks, Dennis.
Well, I went blank there for a minute. Ooh. Wow. Cool. We got Terry. He's on the road.
Yep. We're going to get to him real quick here before we head into our final break. So, Terry, good morning.
Yeah, hi there. Calling to talk to Mr. I Love Electrical System Problems.
Great. Drive safe for me while you're driving.
I've got an 05. I don't really remember what it is. It's either an 05 or 06 Mercury Sable. I think it's an 05.
Okay.
But anyway, the problem would be the same either way.
Yep.
On the radio kind of module pod up there, where the radio and all the temperature controls and everything is all in the same kind of a pod there on the dash.
Yep.
All right, here's what happens. Every once in a while, I noticed a while back, I'd be driving along listening to, my favorite WMT radio station, and I would get to my destination, shut the key off, but the radio would keep playing. Interesting.
Yeah.
So I just punched the button, shut it off. Well, then it got to be where I would go to turn the radio. I'd switch the key off, but the radio would keep playing. But now all of a sudden, all the controls are non-responsive. No, nothing happens. You turn the radio dial up or down, the volume, nothing happens. Try to change the station, God forbid, nothing happens. Just nothing happens in the whole pod. It's like it's dead, except the radio's playing. So I jiggled the key a little bit, that being the extent of my technical knowledge.
Yeah.
And I did get it to come back on. So I don't know if it's in the ignition switch or maybe I've been told maybe a relay down under the steering column there that controls that pod. What do you think?
Well, for the radio, there's no relay that's going to control the pod.
Okay.
The Fords do have an issue. How many keys do you have on your ignition? On your key ring?
I just have the one.
Okay. Ford has always had an issue with the ignition switches that you'll start it up and we'll get people, they're like, hey, nothing works. And you turn the key back, you wiggle the key just a little bit, and then my heater works, my heater fan works, and radio all works and everything. Yep. So it's in the ignition switch.
Going to be in the ignition switch. Okay. That sounds like it should be a simple fix if I brought it to you, right?
Yep. That's a very simple fix. So.
All right. Cool. Thank you very much.
No problem. Thank you.
Right. Yep. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
All right. That was Terry. Electrical problem.
There we go. We love them. So we got to go to break.
Yeah, we got to take our last break here, and then we'll get Lucky is on hold. So just hang tight with us through the break here, and we'll get to you as soon as we come out of that. Back with more on 600 WMT. California Dreamin'.
There you go. Gotta love it. Cool.
Good song comeback. But
We got Lucky.
We do have
He's
Lucky.
on the road.
He's been holding for us. We appreciate that. So we're going to go to him now. Good morning, Lucky.
How you doing today?
Great. Drive safe for me, please.
I got an 02 Ford F-150 with a 5.3 in it.
With a 5.8 in it?
I believe that's what it is. Yeah,
Okay.
it's my boy's pickup. He's having problems. If you drive along and the temperature gauge will peg out clear up. I mean, it'll go all the way up for a couple of seconds and then drop back down to normal, and it's fine for a couple of days. And then every once in a while it'll do that. He put a water pump on it, the thermostat, and now somebody's telling him, well, you got a head gasket out or something. I don't know. Just wonder if you ever ran into that or.
You know, I've seen it before on some different stuff, but I'd want to be looking at my clutch fan on the clutch fan. Look at that real close. And I'd be looking at flow in the radiator, making sure that I got good flow, airflow, and good circulation in the system. So that's where I'd start. You say you did put a new thermostat in it?
They put a thermostat in it first, and then they put a water pump on it. It can get a little noisy, so you replace that.
Okay.
And then when you build it up and let it sit there and run for about 30 minutes, every time you accelerate, I notice the water level in the reservoir would go down, and as soon as you let off it, it'd go back up again.
That's good. That means our water pump's working.
Yeah, and I got an 04 Lariat that got the same motor as his does. Mine doesn't do that, so that's why I was wondering if there's something wrong with it that's going down and up all the time, or
No,
mine don't do that.
Yeah, we could test it and see whether it's got a blown head gasket or not. They got some tests for that. So, but I'd be looking at that clutch fan here. So, okay.
Okay, yeah, because he put a pressure test on it, put pressure on it overnight, and it held pressure.
Okay.
That's why I was wondering.
Lucky, we're up against the top of the hour, so
we gotta go.
We gotta go. Thanks.
Thank you.
I appreciate your time. Thanks.
No problem.
Well, running out of time. Thanks, Jay.
Anytime, and Lucky, call me at the dealership. The 3